What's up, everybody? And welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you will receive a notification every time that I drop a video. And you can go and check the video out. Leave a comment. Like the video. Get engaged, get involved in the Go Up movement. If you support me, support the content, support the channel. Let's get into it. This situation transpired there in Corcoran State Prison. Again, a level 3 at the time, but still the most violent level 3 that I've ever been on. And the young homie from Compton was there. I was in juvenile hall with this young dude, bro. He's 2 years younger than me. So at the time there in Corcoran, I was 21 in 1995, and he was 19. But I really looked at him as like my little brother, because we like grew up right there in juvenile hall together. We was in LP. And he was a little short dude, and he was real light and bright with real long hair. He was like mixed. He was black, but he was mixed with Mexican, like Samoan, all these different ethnicities. And so he was really a prime target for a predator. And there in Corcoran, there was an older dude there who used to gangbang. He used to be a Crip himself, but he no longer gangbang. He shouldn't be gangbanging because he was old as hell. So he didn't belong to any faction or any car. And yet he had the audacity when the young homie from Compton Crip pulled up in his cell. He believed that this dude tried to start grooming him. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard the term grooming. It's when these predators, be it a young girl or a young man, test them and fill up their heads with different stuff as they try to get them to bend to their will at some point. They make little suggestions, little slick remarks, etc., to see if you're going to respond and or how you're going to respond. So when a young homie from Compton pulled up on the yard, I was very happy to see him. I hadn't saw him in a few years since we had been in juvenile hall together, but I'd always thought about him. I always cared about him, bro. He's one of the few where, he was always on my mind. It's a few people like that to this day that I still think about and really care about that's behind those walls. He was one of them, although we were both very young. But he was not a buster. He was not a coward by any sense or any stretch. Looking at him, however, if you're the type of person that likes to judge a book by its cover, you would probably think that he was some sort of sheep, a deer. But really, he was a tiger, a lion. But you would never know that by looking at him because, again,
excuse me, is this the new Rolls Royce?
That's a $350,000 car, sir. It's really expensive. I don't know if you can afford it.
Well, is there any way I can see the inside?
Look, man, I really don't want to be rude today. I just don't want to waste my time,
Yes,
okay?
you can see the inside, sir. Let me grab the keys for you.
There's no way that this guy is getting approved for a loan. I mean, look at the way he's dressed.
Loan? Who said anything about a loan? I'm paying cash.
Okay, I am genuinely confused. Where did you get all that money?
I'm a multimillionaire. And I dress like this because I want people to help me for me and not for my money.
Here's a piece of advice. Next time, don't judge a book by its cover.
he was slight in stature, very skinny, long hair, light skin, colored eyes, this sort of thing here. And sometimes these predators there in prison that's been locked up for 30 years with no release date that is nigh, well, they begin to look at people that look like this as prime rib, something to eat off a Sunday dinner's plate. And that's apparently what happened in this situation, because a young homie from Compton came out and told me one day, bro, I think this dude is up to something, Marcelli. I said, well, what makes you say that? Why do you think he up to something? He said, well, first of all, he's walking around in his drawers, bro. He walking around in his boxers. Now, even though the young homie is 19 and I'm only 21, I do not have much prison experience whatsoever. In fact, this is just my second prison. My first was Avenal. Can't even really count it. A level 2, more like Disneyland than prison. Corcoran was 10 steps above it, even though it was just a level 3. But again, they did have certain politics and structure there. Nothing like a level 4. But it has some minute similarities to a level 4. Did Corcoran. But I had never been to a level 4 at this juncture. Clearly, the young homie had not either, him being just 19. Again, this is his first prison. However, innately, he's smart. And so even though he hasn't been laced like I haven't yet about really this prison life and how it really truly works, and he doesn't have a grip on the politics yet, he understands right from wrong. And he has common sense, and he knows when someone is being funny or freaky towards him. Weird. Well, he came out and he told me, man, this dude is acting weird. He's walking around in his drawers. And I told him, bro, can you not walk around in your underwear? Now, again, him only being 19, he still understands this can't be right. Because as cellies, you're not supposed to walk around in your drawers. You know, out of respect for your cellie, you're a grown man who wants to see another grown man really walking around in his drawers. Unless you trying me or something. So he understood even then that this dude's walking around in his drawers, something is not right. So he acted, and then dude told him, man, this is how I always do it. This is how I've done it with all my cellies. I've been locked up 30 years. I can do what I want to do. I can walk around in my drawers, youngster. Ain't nobody trying to, what do you mean, man? You worried about something? This is how he gets at the young homie. You worried about something? He tells him that only someone who may have some sort of tendencies or something, or may be thinking about something like this, would be upset with him walking around in his underwear. Now, yeah, the young homie probably should have just got off on him then. But he didn't. Instead, he told me about the conversation. And he told the Compton car as well. He told his homies. They didn't like what the OG had done in the cell, and neither did I. And I figured right there from that interaction that, yeah, he's trying to groom the young homie. He thinks that he has some sort of princess in the cell. But really, it's Godzilla in disguise. So he goes back into the cell and they have more interactions. And a few days later, he tells me about yet another suspicious interaction in which the OG from Compton and him were just conversing, trading war stories about the street. Now, I know for a fact that the young homie from Compton, well, he had plenty of women. Even at the age of 13 and 14 there in juvenile hall, he had different women coming to see him, I swear. It was crazy. So they're exchanging these war stories and talking about their different escapades and episodes with women. All of a sudden, this older dude with ungodly intentions asked the younger homie, have you ever had a threesome? And he said, well, yeah. And he said, with two other women? He said, yeah. He said, well, what about with another dude? You know, you and another dude and just a woman. And the young homie said, yeah, me and the homie, we We did that before. Growing up, we all did that. And the OG said, no, ain't nobody, ain't we all did that. The OG told him that it was weird and suspicious that he would interact with a woman in that way with another man there who's also nude interacting with this woman. The OG tells him, well, isn't that like sort of gay? Because you're going to see the other dude while he's nude doing what he's doing. You can't help but to look at his stuff. It's just out there because y'all both right there doing this to the woman. I don't want to see another man nude, man. You know what I'm saying? With his aroused, performing acts. You know what I'm saying? With me right there, whether it be with another woman or not. Man, I've never done that. Me and my homeboys didn't do that growing up, is what the older dude tells him. The younger generation, well, y'all are suspect running these trains and all of this nonsense on these different women. But you're doing it with these different men who are sitting there in their birthday suit. How do you justify this? So dude is tripping, the OG. Yeah, I still call him OG. That's just what we call the older dudes in there. I don't mean OG out of respect. It's just how I speak. He was an older dude. And now the young homie from Compton, when he tells me about this exchange, he says that he told the older dude, well, I'm not suspect. I don't care what anyone else thinks or what anyone else who performs a certain act, if they're suspect or not. You know what I'm saying? But you trying to tell me I'm suspect, bro? He said, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it don't look right. So I said, yeah, I think he's trying to play you, bro. I told him this. I said, this don't really sound right. I said, is he still walking around in his Fruit of Looms? Is he still walking around in his crime fighters, in his underwear? Because if he is, after you told him and stipulated clearly, explicitly, that you take umbrage to this, another man walking around in his drawers, unless maybe it's your brother or something, you know what I'm saying? But they're in prison behind the walls and some older dude that you don't know now. And he continues to do it. He said, yeah, bro, he's done it a few more times. I said, yeah. He said, man, you know what? If he does one more thing, bro, if he says one more thing to me out of line or out of pocket, I got something for him. I've been through this too many times in my life. People thinking that I'm soft just based on the way that I look. Just like people will look at you and think that you tough and strong and not somebody to be played with, even though you might not be. Turns out that you are. But they don't know that. They're just going to assume that based on your look. And based on my look, they're going to assume that I'm a pushover, an easy win, a victory for somebody. But they got it all wrong, bro. I said, I know this because I seen him in action even there in juvenile hall. So I know the young homie, he's not for none. And me, myself, I'm offended at this older dude. Hell, I want to get him myself. But the younger homie said, I want to take care of this. And then just a few days later, well, he came out to the yard once again.
A few moments later.
Yeah, he did. And he said, bro, do you know that this dude tried me once again? I said, he tried you again? He said, yeah. And remember I told you that if he tried me just one more time, approach me one more time.
That is my Shut up! Now who sent you, nigga? Nobody sent me. Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. And I ain't playing, nigga.
With nefarious, ungodly intentions? That if he approached me thinking that I was a scapegoat and approached me because he has an insatiable appetite for human touch of any kind and thinks he's going to get it off of my back, got something for him. And he tried me once again. I said, well, what did he do? And he said, well, I was letting down my hair because a young homie used to wear braids sometimes. Long ass braids coming down his back, bro. And he was letting his hair down in his cell and combing his hair. And the older dude told him, can I braid your hair? And the young homie from Compton told him, no, I don't need you braiding my hair. I got somebody that braid. His homie was braiding his hair. You know, your homie will braid your hair for you. You don't want just anybody doing it. It's a personal thing. And you certainly don't want another man doing it if it's unnecessary. But there in prison, you have people that will braid your hair, cut your hair, and etc. Who else is going to do it? A CO woman ain't about to do it. So you can't get a woman to do it. So if you wear your hair in braids, either you do it yourself or someone does it for you. But in this situation, considering this guy's past, the older dude, and his propensity to take shots and to try to groom the young homie, well, he felt it suspect that he's asking to braid his hair. He said, no, I'm good. He said, man, just let me braid it. I just want to see what it's like because it's real long. It's like curly and all this so-called good hair. And I used to braid hair, the young homie's hair, my other celly, I used to braid his hair. So, but he had the rough, coarse hair. And yours is like this. I just want to see the difference, bro. And dude told him, no, man, I told you, bro, don't ask me no more about touching me and touching my hair.
What up, it's your girl DJ Tracy Steele. We're here at Birthday Bash ATL, and I got the homie Kevin Gates in the building. Man, you're going to hit that stage, and I know it's going to be crazy. How are you?
I'm all right. It's
You
a
feeling
blessing.
good?
Yeah.
All right, you are like the hottest thing in the streets right now, no?
All praise, honor, glory be to God.
Yes. So tell me, what are we about to see on that stage? What you going to do?
I'm going to give him my...
Don't ask me again. The answer is no. I don't want you touching my hair. And dude said, man, that's crazy, man. You know what, youngster? You know what? I'm starting to wonder about you. Some of the stuff you done told me. This thing you done had with your homeboys on more than one occasion. With a woman involved, this threesome, where another man was in there nude. You know, you worried about me walking around here in my underwear, and now you worried about a real dude who's a gangster, who know he's not gay. He wouldn't be worried about me touching his. So he's really disrespecting the young homie from Compton. And his mind was made up when he came to the yard. I couldn't talk him out of it if I wanted to, but I did not want to talk him out of it. And he had devised a plan all on his own, under his own volition. He came and told me, bro, I devised a bit of a plan to make this dude suffer because I'm taking it personal that he thinks that I'm a chump, a pushover. He wouldn't be talking to you like this. He's only doing it based on my looks. But he's wrong, as I said before. And now it's time to show him what you gonna do, bro. He said, well, because we had stingers and hot pots there where you boil the water and people would tweak the hot pots because when you order them or buy them from the canteen, the water didn't boil it didn't boil for this reason. They didn't want the water to get too hot in case you decided to pour it on someone or a CO or whatever. But the water would get hot, but not boiling hot. But of course, like everything in there, people found a way to tweak the hot pots quickly. And now the water boils like as if you're cooking stew. Boiling hot water. He said, well, I'm going to boil some water and pour it on his ass when he's in there asleep and half naked so that the water gets all on him. But not only that, bro, I'm going to boil some oatmeal and some rice so that after I dash him with the water, because he likes to sleep on his back, bro, almost in the nude, disrespectful, only has his drawers on. And so he's going to be sitting there in his drawers or laying down sleep. And I'm going to hit him with this scalding hot water. And when he starts screaming and wake up and turn all pink in the face, Yeah, well, I'ma hit him again with some hot oatmeal and hot rice. That way the rice will fly all over his body. And the hot oatmeal will make its way all the way down his body as he's screaming and hooping and hollering. That way I can get him on multiple parts of his body. I did not suggest this. He came up with this plan all by himself at the tender age of 19. A Godzilla, after all, made me proud. And I said, do what you gotta do to this predator, to this sicko. Do what you gotta do, whatever it is. I got your back. And yeah, well, later on that night, let's just say that all hell, well, it broke loose there in Corcoran-on-Sea Yard, circa 1995. With a young homie from CPT, Compton Crib. He decided that he was going to take matters into his own hands. And yeah, well, that's what he did. And in part two, I'll bring it to you. What exactly did the young homie from Compton do? How did he exact his revenge? Yeah, well, he did. And the older guy, well, he regretted every sinister intention that he had, down to his soul. For the rest of his life, I know he regretted that decision to try and groom the young homie from Compton. It wasn't his first time, certainly, trying to groom people. He's done it before and been successful. But this time, that decision altered his life in a negative way for the rest of his life. And I'll bring it to you in part two. Stay free, people!